What is up, TFA fam? Apologies for the delays. Had some technical difficulties. My internet did not want to cooperate, but we're here. 6 minutes late. It would be earlier than if Kev were here, so we're still good. We ditched Kev, left him on the side of the road. He'll find his way back. It's like a hazing. You go and you drop the guys off in the middle of the woods, make them find their way back. So that's what we did. We have some questions here that we're going to roll right into. We appreciate you guys joining us. Going to answer these questions, and I do have some of the inactives that we've gotten so far that I do want to go over. So if you have any other questions, go ahead and drop them in right now, and we will get to them. Dustin joining us. We need 3 out of this group of receivers with Keenan, Beasley, Cooper, Woods, and Mr. Robinson, numero dos.
Good morning.
Locking in Keenan.
Yes. Good morning to you, Cody. I'm going to lock in Keenan Allen. I'm going to lock in Amari Cooper. I am pumped about what this Cowboys offense has showed so far. Now, they've been a little bit more run heavy, but I think that's just been game script. I do think the Panthers offense can keep up with the Cowboys, so I do think we'll see Cooper a little bit more involved than we did last week. It's really tough then when you get to your guy, Allen Robinson, and kind of everyone's guy, Robert Woods, right? Who doesn't like Robert Woods? I'm probably going to lean Allen Robinson. I do think Justin Fields performs a lot better than he did last week. Last week he had the Cleveland Browns, Myles Garrett, and I'm blanking on the other edge, but they're just coming down on him each and every snap, it seems like. Now he gets the Lions defense. I think it's going to be a little bit easier for him to navigate in the pocket there. I'm going to go with Allen Robinson.
It's funny because now I'm going to go with your guy. I'm going with Bobby Woods for my third. I just think that I know Cooper Kupp has taken over. Defenses at some point are going to adjust. And I think in this game with the shootout, they're not really going to be able to – I don't think they're going to have to try to run the ball. I'm not sure what that split looks like with Henderson now back in the fold. But I'm going to go Woods. But I agree with you. Keenan and Cooper are locked in. And then I would just lean Woods because I just want to see it from Fields first. He has a talent. We saw the flashes in the preseason. But now, Nagy's coming out and having the quote, "We know what we're doing." Do you? Do you, bud? That's if you have to say that, maybe you don't. So I would just lean the safety, but I do think A-Rod probably has the upside in that matchup. So good luck to you, Dustin. Got Mr. Wong always rocking with us. Clyde or Hunt, full PPR. I'm going to go Clyde here. He's getting the workload. Has a good matchup again 2 weeks in a row. I think Philly's without. I know they're without Brandon Graham, and that is a big difference for their run defense. So I'm going to go Clyde. You got Clyde or Hunt here in full PPR?
Yeah, I've got Clyde. Kareem Hunt is kind of that player where any week he can do what he did last week, right? Where he goes off. He is that talented, splitting work with Chubb there. But then you see a lot of Kareem Hunt games where he gets 8 carries for 45 yards or something like that, and he catches 2 passes, and maybe that's one of those games. Like, I don't mind either of these guys. They're pretty close in our rankings. I think all of us will be pretty close on them. But I'm going to go with the guy tied to the better offense, who's probably going to get more work on the ground. So I'm going to go CEH.
Walito, always rocking with us. Appreciate that $5 holla. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Welcome,
it's
Walito.
Football, man. Week 4. Welcome to all of you. Joseph, always rocking with us as well. He has a question for us. Davis or Pittman in the 10-man full PPR for the flex?
Pittman just is tougher for me. I think both of those Miami cornerbacks have been playing really, really well. If you look at their catch rate on PFF, they are both allowing, I think, like a 57% for Byron Jones. And I think Xavier Howard might be even better. And so Pittman, as the larger outside wide receiver, is going to face up against one of those two guys in Xavier Howard or Byron Jones. So I really don't love his matchup. Corey Davis on the other side gets I'd say a mediocre, if that's at best, Tennessee Titans defense. And so with him just getting the target share that he has been, we got to expect this Jets team to look a little bit better now that they're probably facing their easiest matchup. I don't think, again, I've been on record, I don't think this Jets offense is going to be great, but this is probably they're going to be their best look to date.
I'm going to lean Davis here as well, especially with the news of Quentin Nelson hitting IR, and they're also without their left tackle. I mean, they're left tackle as well with Smith. So, and then I still can't get over the fact when you look at the injury reports and it just says Carson Wentz ankles.
It still has it, just both of them.
Yeah, just two. So yeah, I'm going to lean Davis here, and I do think this is a nice matchup for this Jets offense going up against the Titans defense. So also rolling Davis there. Yvette, Darnold, Heineke, Ryan.
Yeah, we got this question actually to our account on Twitter today between Darnold and Heineke, and I think the reason I'm going Darnold is just he's been playing really, really well. Again, the Panthers haven't quite had the full test of defenses, but I don't think the Cowboys is as good as the reason the Cowboys have their defenses look so good. It's been because of turnovers. Honestly, they're giving up the second most points to quarterbacks. They've given up the second most yards to quarterbacks. So they're actually not the best. They just have been creating some turnovers, and they can turn Sam Darnold over as well. But I think the yards will be there. He has 2 games over 300 yards. Heineke has been playing well in his own right, but I'm just going to trust Sam Darnold a little bit more with his weapons. And I don't think they'll lean as much on the run because they have Chuba there instead of CMC.
Yeah, I wish I could say Matt Ryan for this one, but I think this is the matchup for Matt Ryan to finally put up some Matt Ryan-esque numbers, along with Calvin Ridley, along with, on the other side, Terry McLaurin. I can't go Heineke. He's too up and down. He can go out there and throw for 320 yards and 3 scores, but he can also go out there and throw 270 and 1 and a couple of picks. So safety leans Darnold here for me.
Yeah, really quick, I think it's interesting that you were considering Ryan. Ryan's kind of an afterthought for me. I think he's just a different guy without Julio. Eventually, he will get better, but Heineke on the other side of that matchup looks better to me than Ryan. I can't trust Matt Ryan until I see it. He's just not the same guy, I don't think.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted to say Ryan, but you just can't. Got Jin joining us. He was also in the prop show last night as well. Welcome back. Nice to have you. Good to see you. Ashton, our guy Ashton here. Ayuk or Sermon full PPR?
Yeah, you know that I am the Sermon guy, but I'm going to go Ayuk here. I think the secondary is much more of the matchup you want to attack against Seattle. Sermon, they just didn't seem to trust as much. And even though Elijah Mitchell is out, so he should get, quote unquote, the bulk of the workload. And it is a good matchup for Sermon. Don't get me wrong. I have him as like a running back, low end running back 2 flex option. But Ayuk just gets a really good matchup against cornerbacks that have been struggling kind of the entire year, right? When the Seattle is playing, you kind of want those wide receivers on the opposite side. We've seen it week in, week out, and that's no different with Ayuk, who I think he's been playing enough. He's safe enough. We saw the touchdown last week. I think we can trust Ayuk a lot more than we can trust Sermon.
Yeah, this one's Ayuk here for me as well. Here's Jen's question. Should I add AB, Galladay, Myers, Aguilar, Pittman, Sanders, Ruggs, Greger, Chenault, or just stick with Rondell? What are we doing here?
That is so many options. I'm not keeping Rondell over some of those names. The top one for me would be Kenny Galladay. The second option for me would be AB. I think those two, and Myers, actually. I'm keeping all 3 of those guys over Rondell. Rondell had the 77-yard touchdown or whatever it was, but honestly, he is not that type of big. I don't want to say he's not a big play receiver. I just don't think his his yardage, he's going to have to create a lot of that on his own because most of his receptions and his rushes are going to be near the line of scrimmage, right? So my thing with Rondell is he's not getting the snaps. He's tied to a good offense, but just the down the field consistency, I don't think will be there. So AB for me, if you're going with somebody this week. Kenny Galladay, I think most weeks should be better than Rondell. And then Jacoby Meyer, man, he has like 33 targets or something like that. I don't know if I have that number exactly right, but it's like 29 or 33 targets in 3 games, man. They are absolutely throwing the ball all over the place. I think they should throw against the Buccaneers secondary, which is the only way you can attack them right now. It's the only way they're going to be able to stay in this game. I believe Maddie highlighted Jacoby on his wide receivers to target against these cornerback matchups. So I really think all three of those guys you should play over Rondale this week. And then just in general, I'd stash all three of these guys over Rondale.
Yeah, I'm going to roll AB here, especially with Gronk being – I don't know why he's still listed as doubtful in some places. And then
he's out,
you look at Twitter and Ian Rappaport saying that he's likely to miss multiple weeks. So Gronk should be out. I think it said it looked like he should be back week 3. I think it was – maybe I'm mixing this up with somebody else, but maybe a Thursday night matchup. Not next week, but the week after. So it seems like he's going to miss, 2 weeks. It's also crazy that he broke his ribs in that game and then ended up coming back in.
Right.
Just an absolute monster. Yes.
Very Gronk-like. Yeah, he didn't make he didn't make the trip, so he's definitely out this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Mason. Good to see Mason back in here. Lamar or Stafford?
Man, I might throw this one to you first. This one's close for me.
It is close, but I'm just going to lean Stafford here, just slightly. It has nothing to really do with the injury. It seems like Lamar's back is fine. Practicing full on Friday, was doing everything he needed to do. But I do think the corners set up as a tough matchup for him. That secondary is a tough matchup. He's still going to get it done, but he's just one of those players that, like, my God. Does anybody want a cat? Would anybody this is now going to turn into an adopt a pet show. If you would like a beautiful white cat that is not annoying in any way, shape, or form, boy, do I have a deal for you. But I like Stafford. Higher total game, playing at home, going up against Arizona. I'm just going to lean there. I think he has a slightly higher floor and probably a similar ceiling in this matchup.
Yeah, the over-under for that Rams-Cardinals game is 54.5. Their implied point total is nearly 30. It's 29.5. So it's really hard to sit Lamar. I'm not going to lie, Mason. We got to move one of these quarterbacks, but it's probably Stafford.
Yeah, it's close. Those are two nice options to have. Again, pro tip: trade one of them. This is where I would go with that. Wait till Stafford pops off in this game and see if you can get some interest for him, because I do want to keep Lamar long term. CHB always with us as well. Good to see these familiar faces. Tremble or Jonnu Smith? Obviously, Tommy Tremble a little more enticing with Dan Arnold being shipped out of town. I lean Jonnu here. This is a matchup where they're probably going to have to throw. I think the Tampa Bay linebackers and secondary can be had with tight ends. I know it hasn't looked great with Jonnu. Hunter Henry's been the more consistent one, but Jonnu did have 6 targets last week to Hunter Henry's 4, I believe. So I'm going to lean Jonnu here. I want to see with Tremble. It's a rookie in an offense where he's 4th, 5th option. You know what I mean? So give me Jonnu.
Yeah, I think if we're streaming tight ends, there's just better options out there right now. I do like Tommy Tremble. I liked him in the pre-draft process. Yeah. I like what he brings to the table. I just can't throw him in a starting lineup quite yet. He could be okay, but again, we're talking about pretty desperate plays. I mean, there's got to be other guys, either Evan Ingram. Anthony Ferkser is a guy that's probably on your waiver wire that I really like. With both Julio and Antonio Brown out, he can be a much bigger part. He's coming off injury himself against this New York Jets defense that is just horrendous. Safety Marcus May is out, one of their better defensive players. So Anthony Ferkser would be a much better option. Dawson Knox, Tyler Conklin, some of these other guys, I'd play all of them over these 2 options.
And Drew, non-PPR, Ridley, CPAT. Have to make sure I'm keeping Cordarrelle Patterson in mind. For whatever reason, last week he wasn't even registering, and we kept getting questions. And we're like, why does everybody want to play Jared Patterson? What has he done? Am I missing something? And then someone's like, Cordarrelle. So Ridley, Cordarrelle Patterson, Henderson, Hubbard.
Am I blanking on it? Who's Jared Patterson? Am I blanking on this name?
The rookie running back came out of Buffalo. He's with Washington.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We're so confused. Like, why do we keep getting questions about Jared Patterson?
Yeah, that's fair. Andrew, happy Sunday to you. I'm very, very excited about week 4. It's kind of where we find out, hey, are some of these narratives contending or continuing? Are some of these trends starting to end? I'm really excited about week 4. It's where we kind of learn a little bit more. Man, this is tough, but if we're non-PPR, Ridley's going to have a week. Ridley is going to have a week at some point, and it's going to be a mistake to sit him. But it is super close between Ridley and Henderson. Henderson's coming off the ribs. It seemed like he's going to play. He will play. But McVay's been talking about him playing since earlier in the week. So I don't think that they're going to be worried about workload at all with him and Sony. I think it'll be mostly Henderson. And man, this Cardinals defense against running backs is so bad. So bad. They just don't stop any running backs. So it's really close between those two players. I understand if you want to go Ridley, but I'm probably going to try and sneak Darrell Henderson in as my non-PPR flex there.
And I'm going Ridley. I just think this matchup sets up well. I just think with Henderson, now we're at a point where we have a little bit of unknown. Like, are they going to roll in Sony Michel now that he's fully acclimated into this offense? We have to remember Sony Michel came in super late in the process for that team. Obviously, in Henderson's absence last year, handled 20 carries, didn't do much with it, but it was obviously a tough matchup as well. So they talked about wanting to keep Henderson healthy. Obviously, with ribs, that's nothing that you're going to point to and say injury prone with that. That's just a tough hit that he took. But just with the little bit of just unknown, I'm going to lean Ridley there, even in a non-PPR, because I think he can still find the end zone. He's going to get the targets. He's going to get the catches. We're putting positivity out into the fantasy universe. Ridley week.
Yes.
Randy, we had a similar question early. This one is going to be Darnold for us. Raylan rocking with us. Good to see Raylan back in here. How worried are we about A-Rob? I'm not worried about A-Rob. I'm worried about the quarterbacks. I think he gets on track at some point. There's no way that he goes a full 17-game season without getting back on track. It's just been very, very annoying, quite frankly, that he's, we're talking about, hey, even if it's Dalton all year, still going to be the best quarterback he's ever had. And hey, man, just wait until Fields gets in there. And obviously Fields' week did not go as planned, but A-Rob, you can't confidently start him. You're probably still plugging him in. I doubt you have higher options unless you're like in an 8 or a 10-team league where you just went heavy on wide receiver. But I think, you kind of – he'll get there. He'll get there. Have some patience. He'll be fine. We do have another non-PPR question from Andrew, another flex question. Fuller, Melvin, or A-Rob?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna back that up too. I think A-Rob has just struggled. One, because we have an injury mid game, right, where Fields has to come in, and then he plans, on not a short week, but they have to install a game plan for a rookie. Where that's really tough for anybody going up against that Browns defense, like we talked about earlier, especially their pass rush. So, I mean, they've had the Rams defense, the Bengals defense, who's been so much better than we thought they would be coming into this season, and then the Browns defense. I honestly think this Bears offense is a lot better than we've seen, whether it's Andy Dalton or Justin Fields. And so now they get the Lions. Like, I would not be surprised if A-Rob gets 12 targets, he catches 8 balls, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Like, I just think we've seen 3 weeks, and whenever you've seen 3 weeks in a row of someone kind of struggling, you're like, man, I don't know if he'll ever get back to who he was. And sometimes it's just they've hit some injuries, switching to a rookie, been tough defenses.
Matt Nagy
is always going to be in that mix, but I really do think A-Rob has a turnaround week. I'm more confident in his turnaround week than I am Calvin Ridley's, where Calvin Ridley has been like serviceable, where he's getting like 50, 60 yards. A-Rob has been horrendous, and I do think that turns around.
Question from Raylan. Evans, Galladay, Cooks in a PPR. I'm going Evans here. What say you?
Yep, Evans. I liked Tom Brady coming back to Foxborough, throwing a lot. I know he only needs 68 yards to break the record, but he's going to want to pour it on against the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. So give me Mike Evans, especially with Gronk out. Who are those touchdowns likely going to? Best chance has to be Mike Evans.
Ashton needs 2 here. AB, Patrick, Sanders, Madison, or Brian Edwards. We're obviously locking in AB. And then who are we going after that for Ashton?
Yeah, we got a couple other questions with Patrick, Manny Sanders, and Corey Davis, and I think they're all right in there as flex-worthy guys. Brian Edwards, I think you can throw him right in as well. I think he had 5 for 5 for 89 last week, or 5 receptions for 89 yards. He had a really good week, quiet good week. Um, it's tough, but I'm going to pick probably the best passing offense with the highest implied point total in the Buffalo Bills. I think they're expected to get over 30 points against this Houston secondary that is very, very not good. So I'm going to go Manny Sanders. That's chasing his production a little bit last week, and Tim Patrick has been pretty safe as well. He just quietly gets a touchdown every week, it seems like, and 5 catches for some good yardage. But I'm going to go Manny Sanders just with the potential, right? The potential that he could get that touchdown against the Texans.
Yeah, leaning Manny there as well. And we've seen from the Bills, they're not going to switch up their offense. They're not going to come out and just be run heavy today because they're playing Houston. So give me Manny there as well. And then also just real quick on the Baltimore side, they are getting some pieces back to that defense that they have not had. Justin Houston's coming back. One of their corners.
Jimmy Smith was back last week, but he was out the first 2. So Jimmy Smith, one of their starting outside corners, will be back.
Yeah, so they're getting a little healthier. So just give me Manny there, and then Clyde or Gibson here from Mason.
And I'm gonna throw this back to you. These whenever it's close, I'm gonna just deflect right back to you. I have Gibson 1 spot higher, but what scares me is I think Gibson is so talented, but they're just not giving him the work. He busted off that 70 whatever yarder it was, but if you look outside of that, he didn't get any work. Like none in the pass game. He had 12 carries other than that, or I think 13 carries. Like he's just not getting the work. At least Clyde, I know it hasn't been to the level we wanted through the pass game. But at least Clyde's good for 15 carries a game. It seems like they're going to give him the work, and he's in a much better offense. I get it. Gibson versus the Falcons. I want to pound that. I have him 1 spot higher. I'm very torn on this. What say you?
I'm going Clyde just because of the safety. Like you said, he might not be getting the passing work, but neither is Antonio Gibson. And I like this matchup. We haven't seen a Kansas City game yet where they're in control of the game. It's always been like super close. They're playing from behind. I think this could be the game. We saw Clyde have 17 for 100 and a score last week. I think that continues against this Philly defense that looked good to start the season. Now they're missing some pieces, especially Brandon Graham. That is a big missing piece that Matt Giraldi dropped in his DFS stacks video, talking about the absence of Brandon Graham. Whenever Brandon Graham is not in the lineup for Philly this year, they are allowing an extra 1.2 yards per carry whenever Brandon Graham is out. So that is a big miss for them. I'm going Clyde here just for the safety. You said you have Antonio Gibson just a spot ahead, so it sounds like you'd be fine rolling out Clyde as well. Joseph, thoughts on adding J.J. Taylor or Curtis Samuel?
Much higher on Curtis Samuel. I think here's the thing with the Patriots backfield. We always find somebody that's kind of enticing, but you can never trust them. I feel like we keep falling into this trap year after year after year, Cody, where it's like, oh man, it's Damian Harris. He's kind of the guy. And nah, he's really not. And Rex Burkhead this year, or all the way back to Jonas Gray, Lawrence Maroney. It's always, they are just such a rotating door. Does J.J. Taylor come in and take some of James White's work? Maybe it's Brandon Bolden. Maybe they throw to Damian Harris a little bit more. I don't know. There's never a name that I'm going to trust week in, week out. Curtis Samuel, I can see that happening. He gets his own work on the ground game. He had over 100 targets last year. He's reunited with Ron Rivera. He'll be the next one up. I know we love De'Ami Brown, but he will probably be that wide receiver too, getting the next target share after TMC. So I'm going to go Curtis Samuel, much higher on him.
Samuel for me as well. Is Dalvin playing? Looks like he is expected to. I'm just going to throw this up for now. We're going to read a couple of these questions. To catch up, but I'll leave this up here so that you all can see this. Thomas wants to know A-Rob or Chuba at flex. I'm going A-Rob here. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't had any other Chuba questions so far. And while he steps into the CMC role, I don't know how much they play Royce Freeman. Actually, the Dallas run defense is decent. They do give up a lot of passes to the running back, but they've been decent against running backs. It's really through the air that they've been attacked. So Chuba could play well, but I think there's a lot of risk there where maybe he splits more time with Royce Freeman than we expect. Maybe they just absolutely go to the pass, and it's just DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Terrace Marshall most of the game. So I'm going with Allen Robinson. I get there's the 3 weeks that we've seen so far, but I'm kind of erasing that. I'm going A-Rob.
Yep, same for me. Greg wants to know thoughts on Henderson if he plays in a PPR. I think he's fine. I don't think they would bring him back if he weren't ready. I just think we could potentially see Sony Michel mix in a little bit, and we don't get the full-on Henderson experience, the Jimmy Henderson experience here. In a completely full workload, I do think Sony mixes in. I think he's safe, but I think we should lower expectations a little bit for Henderson. Raylan wants to know, should I pick up Renfro, Chenault, Davis, Manny, or Tim Patrick?
Yeah, Raylan, it depends on who you're dropping, but I think absolutely there's a lot of good names there. Chenault was not a guy I was very high on before the Chark injury, but obviously he showed what he can do if he's getting a higher target share. So I do like him a little bit more now. Corey Davis, like we said before, I think he's going to have better weeks to come. Manny Sanders is probably the top name, and then Tim Patrick right behind him, just because of the passing offenses that Manny Sanders is tied to, and then the workload for Tim Patrick. So I would probably rank this Manny Sanders 1, Tim Patrick, Corey Davis kind of tied right there, and then Chenault right behind them. I'm just not big on Renfro. Let me touch on him real quick. Renfro has been really, really good through 3 weeks. Derek Carr has thrown he's the passing leader through the first 3 weeks. They've had 2 overtime games, which plays a little bit into that. But Renfro is just going to be the guy that if he gets a touchdown, that's fantastic. If not, he's going to be the 5 or 6 receptions for 50 to 60, maybe 70 yards every now and then. But he's never going to be a guy that I'm fully comfortable with. Like, yep, he's going to get me 14 points. He's going to give me 15 points. It's always going to be in that 8 to 12 range. That's not a guy I'm looking for in my flex.
Yeah, I'm going to go Manny here as well. Just give me the guy in the better offense who is beating out Gabe Davis. Yvette wants to know in a half PPR flex.
that was dirty, man. Oh,
half PPR flex. I'm going to assume that is Javonte, Sutton, or Gaskin. Looks like Melvin Gordon is very questionable. So even if he does play, I think we see Williams take control of this backfield. Sutton on the same side, but who do you got here between these 3?
Yeah, Sutton does have a tougher matchup than we've seen the past couple of weeks, but I'm going to stick with Cortland Sutton here. I just think he's going to be a heavily used option for Teddy B. The Ravens are actually pretty decent against the run. So if that is Javonte, even if he gets a little bit more than Melvin Gordon, I think the breakout will come, and sometimes it just takes 6-7 weeks. Look at Jonathan Taylor last year. So I will like Javonte a little bit more. If that's Jamal, I'm still going Sutton here. I just think he's the safest out of these group.
I believe it is Gaskin who is the safest out of this group. Denver potentially missing 2 of their starting offensive linemen. Not a great matchup just overall. I know Baltimore hasn't been the defense that we have been accustomed to over the past couple of years, but I do think in this matchup, we see like a slower paced game between these two, just a lot of ground and pound, a lot of defense. Gaskin, on the other hand, I'm not worried about the matchup with Indy. We've seen, Malcolm Brown mix in. We've seen Savon Ahmed mix in, except for last week. So I just think in this matchup, neither Javonte or Gaskin is going to get you a ton through the air, even though they do have some of that ability. Sutton, like I said, that Baltimore defense getting a little healthier. I'm just going to go Gaskin here for the safety. I think this could be a Noah Fant week for the Broncos.
Definitely could be.
But I don't mind any of those options. They're all kind of like in the same group for me. But I'm just going to lean Gaskin there. If somebody wants to help us break the tie in the comment here for Yvette, because we clearly did not help whatsoever with that decision. Whitaker, non-PPR, Patterson, Edmonds, Devonta Smith, Trey Sermon.
Man, this is tough. I just feel like Chase Edmonds is going to have a week that James Conner doesn't steal all of his goddamn touchdowns, okay? Like, it has been ridiculous how much work Chase Edmonds does to get into the red zone, and then James Conner just comes in and cleans it up. That's probably going to be a theme all year, but eventually Chase Edmonds is going to have a 2-touchdown week with 7 catches. He's been averaging like five or 6 catches a game. He's been fantastic. I'm going to say Devonta Smith. When it's really, really close, I kind of want the guy that I think is going to be in the highest scoring game, and I think that's the Eagles-Chiefs game. I do like his target share. It hasn't been everything that we've wanted, especially last week where maybe Jalen Reagor was working a little bit more. But if they want to win, if the Eagles want to stay in this game, Devonta Smith is going to have to be involved. He is a big play guy in his own right. So give me Devonta Smith, but I wouldn't hate going Chase Edmonds either. It's just, I just don't know if the touchdown upside is there.
I'm going to lean Devonta, but Cordell Patterson would be my second option here.
He would be, but it's a
opportunity. Yeah, but 14 opportunities back-to-back weeks. He's getting 7 carries, 7 targets back-to-back weeks. Like I said, they use him, in a wildcat, in the toward the goal line as well. Patterson would be my second one, but I just feel like the dud Patterson game is he can't continue to get 5 for 80 through the air and then another 30 on. Can he actually do that? I'm like you said, for all the reasons you said with Devonta Smith, I'm going there as well. But just real quick, Dalvin Cook, Gibson, Swift, Jamison Crowder, all active. Andy Dalton inactive, but we knew Fields was going to get the start, and Vikings linebacker Anthony Barr inactive as well. Higbee, Goddard, Gesicki. Who you got here?
We got good ones today. That's really close. I mean, just gut without looking at the rankings here. As I'm stalling as I pull them up, I'm probably going to go Higbee. You're right. At some point, these teams are going to start saying, hey, we should probably put an extra man on Cooper Kupp. And I think that just bodes well for Robert Woods and Tyler Higbee. I have Higbee at 7, Dallas Goedert at 9, and then Gesicki just outside top 12. So the first 2, it's really close for me. Goddard's just splitting. If Zach Ertz would just go away, go somewhere else, I think this is your thing. If he would just leave, right? Am I doing my best Cody impersonation? Just get out of the way. Just leave. Then I think I would have Goddard as a top 6 tight end each week, but he's not. He's still there. He's still sometimes taking more of the yardage, the touchdown away from Goddard, and that leans me towards Tyler Higbee.
Yeah, just give me the best offense here and give me Higbee. Pata. Crowder, Singletary, McKissick in a PPR.
It's funny because I have zero comfortability playing Jameson Crowder, but if he does what Braxton Berrios has done and he's a better player than Braxton Berrios has done, he's going to beat Singletary and McKissick no problem. Braxton Berrios has been getting a quiet 6 for 55, 6 for 60, and Jameson Crowder we know can do that and just at a better rate with that the lack of other options outside of Corey Davis in that Jets offense. No Elijah Moore. He is out with a concussion. I'm going to go Jamison Crowder here. I have if you told me he only had 2 targets in that game, I'd be absolutely not shocked, but also they just utilized that slot wide receiver so much. Zach Wilson has been leaning on that slot wide receiver, and he's better than Braxton Berrios.
Yeah.
It's risky. It's 100% the risky play. If you want to go safe, I don't even know if any of these guys are safe. Singletary, I guess, against the Houston Texans, but they're probably going to be up. He hasn't even been getting that much work in the passing game. Zach Moss, I think, has out-targeted him. At least had more receptions the past 2 weeks. So I don't even know if he's safe. It's Crowder for me, but it's not. It's kind of got me churning right here in my gullet. Or the gullet. Yeah. Aren't you up here with the gullet?
Yeah. You're talking about your tummy. Yeah. I'm going to lean McKissick here. I just don't know what to expect from Crowder with it in his first game back. Singletary is clearly last. I think we can, or maybe you don't agree with that, but Singletary is clearly last for me. In a PPR, it seems for whatever reason, Zach Moss was the inactive week 1, and we're like, hell yeah, let's go, because I think both of us are Singletary guys.
Yep.
And then he's been phased out over the past 2 weeks.
Phased out, yep.
I don't hate Crowder. Yeah, there's nobody else there with the Jets. Actually, you know what? I'm switching. Give me Crowder. Let's lock in Crowder. Sanders or Sermon? I'm going Sanders there. Or are you playing Sermon? You Sermon lover boy.
I am not playing him over Sanders. Sanders will have more than 2 rushes or whatever he got against the Cowboys. Better weeks ahead for Miles Sanders.
And then Sutton or Davis, I'm going Davis there.
Yeah, I'm going to go Sutton. I'm just going to trust what I think is the better talent.
DB, coin flips came up even. Well, then flip another one, Dustin. Logan Thomas or Pitts. I'm sticking with Pitts here. It just can't continue. It can't. It cannot continue. This is a good matchup for him. We saw what he could do week 2 when he went 5 for 73. Logan Thomas is that guy who's always going to get you, 5 for 40, could find the end zone, but I think Pitts is just the higher upside play here. I'm going to go Pitts.
Yeah, no, you're right. At some point, Ridley and Pitts are going to find their way, and I think it comes at the expense of Patterson. That's why I don't think Patterson continues to be as involved as he has been. I think eventually they're like, oh, maybe we should throw the ball more to our 2 best players, maybe a little bit. But honestly, I'm going to go Logan Thomas here. He's been quietly pretty solid, like and pretty solid in tight end words, right? Tight end lingo, where he's just been a consistent 4 for 50 kind of guy. I actually really like him against this Falcons secondary. These, they're playing each other ironically. So Dustin, one, always do an odd number of coin flips. That'll help out with the coming up even. Secondly, I'm going to go Logan Thomas. I do think he's a good chance at a touchdown. It's really him and TMC. I'm sure Gibson and McKissick working a little bit, but I have a lot of faith in Logan Thomas this week. Hopefully I don't get burned by that.
Again, I'm going to need somebody in the chat to break the tie on that one, but Alejandro has 3 here that we need between CD, Cup, Diggs, OBJ, Beasley, and Evans. Well done. Nice group here.
You're starting Cup, you're starting Diggs, and you're probably starting CD.
Feels dirty to sit.
Diggs is my wide receiver 1 this week. I don't know how against this Texan secondary, who's going to probably dominate. If we like Sanders, if we like Beasley, if we like some of these other Bills offense, you have to love Stephon Diggs, right? Like this could be his 2 touchdown, 150-yard game. So Diggs, no question. Cup, you can't sit him. I get it. Could they start to bracket him more? Could they start to shade his way in these zone coverages? Yes, but Cup is too hot right now. CD number 3 for me.
This one's for you, Robbie, coming from Walito.
There's been
Sermon or Juicy J.
There's been a couple of guys in some leagues, some deeper leagues, 14 team, that have been starting Kyle Juszczyk, and I'm trying to trade them all, these Zach Moss guys that are on my bench. I've been trying to take full advantage. The juice has been pretty good. I like seeing him in the backfield. I like Kyle Juszczyk as well, but Sermon should be the guy that you play, should get more work. That is Trey Sermon for me.
YM. This was who was asking us about Patterson last week, and Kevin and I were just like, "Why Jared Patterson?" She was like, "Cordarrelle guys, stay with me. Full PPR, we need one for high upside or one for high floor. AB, Cordarrelle." She put Cord Patterson. Thank you for doing that. Jamal Williams, Singletary, Rondell Moore, Emmanuel Sanders. So we're locking in AB for the high upside. Do we just need one? Yeah, give me AB.
Or one high floor. Yeah, I think if it's just the one, it's AB. If she does need 2 for some reason, because apparently we never can understand these questions. We're not experts, Yango. We've never claimed to be experts at reading or otherwise. But AB, and then I do like Manny Sanders as well, but AB for your high upside play.
Eckler or Saquon? This is Eckler for me, baby.
Yes, Raylan always has these really tough running back questions. He has a really good team with fantastic running backs. Give me Eckler.
That's right. Jose wants to know full PPR flex spot, Gaskin or Deontay, but also has McKissick and Golladay. So out of that group, who do you like?
Deontay, and this is not very close for me. With Claypool out, they're going against the Packers. Does Deontay get 17 targets? Does he get 20 targets? I don't know. There is no limit. The limit does not exist.
Yeah, agree there. Alejandro wants to know if we have any changes. Allen, Pollard, Carson, Jefferson, A-Rob, Kelsey, Beasley. On the bench, we have Tim Patrick and Henderson, and then waivers available, Gainwell and Fuller.
Henderson for sure over Pollard for me. Pollard looks really, really good in limited time, but I don't think he's going to get the workload that I think Henderson is going to get. And I love his matchup against the Cardinals. They've been horrendous against the running back position. Other than that, I think I'm leaving the rest of that roster.
Yep, I agree there. Hit that like button, just like Ashton said. Appreciate all of you. Alfredo's down bad right now. Should I pick up AB, healthy wide receiver? 2 options are Renfro, Hollywood Brown, also for a flex, Fournette, MG3, or Tunyon, full PPR. Yes, pick up AB.
Yeah,
if you're down bad, you need that home run swing. I'm definitely going to go AB there.
Yeah, AB is just, oh, there we go. What's up, buddy? AB is just the high upside flex that you want each week. I get it. He's not going to be fantastic each week, but I know what Hunter Renfrow is, and I'm not playing him or even keeping him rostered over Antonio Brown. Much better weekly upside in a much better offense.
And then, so are we just going to put in? Are we just going to put in AB and HB? So it kind of seems like needs a wide receiver 2 option, right? And then also for a flex. I'm starting both those receivers over all of them.
Yeah, I think I am as well.
Delicious, delicious water. Rest of my team. Yeah, so we got that one. That's right. That's right. Like and subscribe coming in from Raylan. I see you.
Hey, look at me. Look at me, man. Hey, we got a question here. I traded Carson and Godwin for Kupp. My new running back 2 is J-Rob, and J-Rob's been playing really, really well. So I don't know if I would have done that. I feel like you're buying really high on Kupp. I don't know what you think on that, Cody, but I think he bought high on Kupp. I prefer the Carson Godwin side. I understand why you did it, but I think I prefer it's not bad. You're going to be okay with J-Rob as your running back 2. That's probably okay. You just got to hope that Cooper Kupp keeps up what he has been doing as the wide receiver 1. And I think he's more of maybe a top 10 wide receiver guy than the wide receiver 1 right now.
Yeah, seems a little hefty for Kupp. This is one of those ones where I would want to know, like, what are the rest of your... Oh my God.
Carson doesn't like it either.
Yeah.
Or maybe he does. I can't quite tell.
Yeah, we can't. I can never. Yeah, a little bit of an overpay. I'd want to see the rest of the roster, but if you have the depth to get away with that, I don't hate it because it looks like Kupp is going to have a similar floor as Godwin, but a higher ceiling because you're always going to have those other options mixing in. Nick Hobie needs 2 here. Sutton, Woods, Patrick, Juju in a full PPI.
Woods, Juju, lock it in.
Same for me. Going to try and go a little rapid fire here because, as always, we are somehow a half hour behind. Appreciate all you guys rocking with us. Please give us a like and a subscribe if you have not yet done that. You can also join the Discord where Christian is bored. Christian's manning the Discord for us, answering your start-sit questions. So if you are, if you lack the patience and you want a quicker answer, give Christian something to do in the Discord. Absolutely free to join. Jeremy Hatter, full PPR flex. Moore, Harris, Ruggs, Myers, Pittman.
Jacoby Myers, I think, is going to continue his fantastic run. I've got this next question here, Cody. We've got $1.99 holla from Derek, full PPR, flexing Fournette with Gio out or Waddle. Are you trusting Fournette here?
Not in a full PPR. It looks like now with Fuller back, they're putting Waddle in the slot, and they are peppering him with targets. The Colts slot corner as well has given up the second most catches and second most yards, but he is just 16th, I believe, in coverage snaps from the slot. So I'm going Waddle there. It seems like that's their game plan, is just to kind of let Brissett dink and dunk down the field between him and Gesicki. So in a full PPR, I think Waddle could, just on his catches alone, potentially outproduce Fournette.
Yeah, this could be a week where Fournette gets 5 or 6 catches with Gio out, but I
3
got to go to
touchdowns.
right. I'm going to go with just the who can get down the field, who can catch these longer bombs. That's Waddle. Fournette just could be another ugly 5 rushes for 20 yards with a couple catches. I'm going to go Waddle.
Yeah, appreciate the support there, DJ. Andrew, you has a QB question here with 3 nice options: Hurts, Russ, or Herbert. First
Just
of all,
picking one of them?
let's get rid of 2 of those. Let's get rid of 2 of those so we don't have this.
What are you hoarding quarterbacks here, Andrew? Come on now.
Man, it's hard to sit any of these guys.
It is. I know Kev, if Kev were here, he would tell you Jalen Hurts for sure. He really likes Hurts this week against the Chiefs. The Chiefs corners have not played up to snuff. L'Jarius Sneed, how fantastic he was as a rookie last year, has not been playing well this year. I'm going to stick with Russell. I think outside of last week, Russell is just fantastic for 3 touchdowns almost every single week. Lockett looks like he's going to play, so he's going to have his duo there in Metcalf and Lockett. I have Russell higher. Hurts is good as well. I mean, Herbert's good as well. I'm going to go Russell, though.
Yeah, whatever you said, I was going to agree with, because I'd have a really hard time parsing out that. Man,
Give me
Jalen Hurts. Somebody in the chat break the tie there for Andrew. I'm going to go Hurts, but Andrew, trade 2 of those guys. I'd be fine with you keeping any of them. What I would do, I just put their names in a hat, pull one out. That's who you're keeping the rest of the year. Alejandro has another one here with his team. Are we putting in anybody on the bench over his starting lineup right now? Rolling with Henry, JT, DJ Moore, Evans, Pitts.
One, it looks like Melvin Gordon is starting probably in his flex. I'm going to go Galladay over Melvin Gordon. Both Shepard and Slayton are out. I think Galladay kind of manages most of that target share in the wide receiver corps.
I agree with that one. Goddard or Higbee. I'm going to go Higbee here. We already had a similar one earlier. Joey C, start 1. Sermon, Clyde, Mike Davis. I'm going Clyde there. Better offense, fewer questions. Is Kupp, Ridley, and CD an amazing starting lineup?
How is it not?
No, you're not. You're not putting in Sutton over CD.
No, I mean, if anybody, it'd be Ridley, but I'm not playing Sutton over Ridley.
No, good on you there. Just coming in just a flex, I guess. Just to say, hey, look at this. Cooks, Robbie, or Henderson in a half PPR.
As the Robbie Anderson guy from earlier in the year, I should say Robbie. For my namesake even, I'm going to go Darrell Henderson and hope that you tell the crowd Robbie Anderson.
No, I'm going Henderson here as well.
And real quick, the reason we're not on Cooks is most likely going to see Tre'Davious White, who is a shadow corner. I get it. We keep on getting burned. Walito, props to you. Cooks has been fantastic through 3 weeks. I cannot start a wide receiver against Tre'Davious White unless I'm desperate. And you have good options there in Henderson.
Yeah, and it's not like Trey White is the only noteworthy piece on that defense either. I think it could potentially help for the deep shots with Poyer out for this game, but I think Trey White can do enough. They can still bracket him, you know what I mean, to keep him limited. And I'm it's one thing to trust Tyrod. It's another thing to trust Davis Mills. So that is why we are lower on Cooks this week. Ronnie needs 3 in a full PPR. Well, a lot of Edmonds and Henderson in here. Monty or Moss. So we need 3 out of this group. Locking in Monty.
Yeah, I get the game script narrative for why you'd want to throw Moss in here. I know if Kev were on the show, he would absolutely work Zach Moss into this starting lineup. I personally am going to sit Moss. Can he score a touchdown against the Texans? Absolutely. But they could also just run 10 times the entire game, 12 times the entire game. I think Edmonds is much safer in a PPR setting. Henderson, much better matchup. And David Montgomery is a lock there. So the first three for me.
Yeah, same, especially in a full PPR. They're not going to be able to run the ball on the ground effectively, and Edmonds is clearly their best pass-catching option there. So I'm going to go that as well. Corey Davis or Ayuk here for Griff?
Ayuk. Really like Ayuk's matchup.
Cooks or AB from Lucid Dreams?
AB.
Charlie needs to sit one in a PPR, Moss, Pittman, or Galladay. Now, you talked about worrying about Pittman in this matchup. Like we said, missing two of their offensive linemen for Indy as well. Glass ankles, Carson Wentz. Are you going to put in Moss over Pittman?
I think I am, honestly. It's a little cheeky, but I'm going to put Moss in over Pittman. I just don't like that matchup. I don't know if the Colts have much success through the air. If there's a way to attack this Dolphins defense, it is on the ground. They've given up tons of yardage and touchdowns in their past 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an RB tight end week for Indy. I like Nyheim Hines if you need a flex option at running back, especially in a full PPR. Eric Tran in a disgusting quarterback situation here. Ryan or Teddy B? I'm going Matt Ryan. I'm saying it. I don't care. I know Teddy B has been, a quarterback that we did not expect him to be. But like I said, I think Denver is without one of their starting offensive linemen. Another one is questionable. That defense for Baltimore getting healthy. Matt Ryan for me in a better matchup.
Yeah, no, this is Teddy Bridgewater for me. I'm very off. I'm very off Matt Ryan. I don't want to play him at all.
So somebody in the chat help us break that tie. I get it with Matt Ryan, but even without Julio, we have seen him put up some solid numbers. I'm not worried about the matchup.
Hey, Eric, if Baker's in there as a streamer quarterback, or Justin Fields or Taylor Heineke, Daniel Jones, some of those guys are going to be rostered, but I like all of those guys over your two options.
I'm a bot, Hubbard or A-Rob in the flex. This does seem like a very bot kind of question.
The bot couldn't figure it out. The projections were exactly the same. Doesn't know which way to do it. We've gone on record here saying it's going to be an A-Rob return to greatness week. At least I've been on record. Give me A-Rob.
We got the U represented here for Cino, Rogers, Monty, or Moss. This is going to be Monty for me.
Yes.
Ilias wants to know, should I trade Chubb for Eckler in a PPR? And should I start Dolphins D or Washington D? So what do you think about that trade there in a PPR?
Yep.
I would take Eckler. And then Dolphins D or Washington D?
I like the Dolphins defense. Both of these defenses are probably going to be top 12 plays for me. I think that secondary can get some turnovers on Carson Wentz.
Another one here from Cino. Which Antonio are you going with? Are you going with the revenge game or are you going Gibby?
Oh, man. I think I got to stick with Gibson here. Antonio Brown could be fantastic. There's no doubt about it. But I'm going to stick with the running back. I do think Gibson, even though he hasn't been getting the full complement of work, I do think he's talented enough where he can break one like he has in the past.
I love a narrative. Give me AB. I get that if you need safety, here's how I will hedge this one. If you just need the safe touches in the floor, go Gibson. But if you need to go for more upside, if you're looking at your opponent's team and you're kind of feeling like, man, I don't match up well, I might need some points, I would go AB there. Gregory has a standard question here: flex Callaway or Brian Edwards?
Brian Edwards.
Let's go. Edwards for me. Go to hell, Walito. Jamel wants to know, should I start Robbie, Corey Davis, or Sutton over Cooper this week?
I can't. I get that Amari Cooper let you down last week. Bad game script. They didn't have to throw that much. There will be better weeks. Trust me, the Cowboys defense will not always get 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions each week. I've watched them for too many years. Cooper is the play.
Yeah, he was disappointing last week, but was also dealing with that rib injury, was not on the injury report at all this week. So I think you can safely fire him up. We got our first Tennessee wide receiver question here from Anon. Are we going Westbrook, Ikalakanahani, or Ruggs?
Westbrook, Akeen? I don't know. Anyways, I've finally gotten a chance to talk about it. This is fantastic. I really like him as a DFS play. And if you have the dire straits, I love starting Westbrook here. I get it. Ruggs is probably the higher upside play with his down the field shots. Westbrook is a bigger target kind of guy. He played actually the majority of snaps once AB went out, or excuse me, AJ Brown went out. I think he'll be the target leader this week. There is Chester Rogers there, but this is a Jets secondary that is not good. Give me Westbrook here.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be able to hand the ball off 80 times to Derrick Henry. Do you agree with this? Well, Lito was saying Callaway over Edwards because he trusts him more to score a touchdown.
I don't know.
Where does that trust come from?
They're averaging 21 passing attempts per game. They're lowest in the NFL. If you're telling me Jameis is going to continue to only throw the ball that many times, and Alvin Kamara is going to get over that amount in the rushing game, I just can't trust an offense that is literally they're passing less than the Baltimore Ravens. If that tells you anything, that's how much they are not unleashing Jameis. So sure he can, but I don't trust him to get a touchdown any more than any other offense.
Yeah, Edwards at least 80 yards in 2 of his 3 games as well. Cash back with us. Which tight end this week? Knox, Hunter Henry, Tyler Conklin, or Jared Cook?
These guys are all in that jumble of whoever scores the touchdown and gets 3 for 37. I'm going to go back to the well with Jared Cook. He should have scored against the Cowboys week 2. He had a fantastic week 1 game. Was a disappointment in week 3, but I do like Jared Cook the best out of this group of players.
Yeah. My God. I would rather have this is why I wanted to go early tight end this year. I'd rather even a disappointing Kyle Pitts. Just let me not worry about waivers at all. You know what I mean? Just let me plug him in, because this is the kind of situations you come up with on a week-to-week basis. I can't trust Knox. We haven't seen the consistent involvement. I know he had a nice solid game last week, but I can't go there. Hunter Henry still, I think Henry might be the safest of the group with a lower floor. You know what I mean? I think he's only
the safest with a lower floor.
Right. I think at least with Hunter Henry, I think you are guaranteed to have 6-7 points. You know what I mean? With Jared Cook, I think he's probably a better bet to find the end zone. So again, let's hedge this. Safety, give me Henry. Upside, give me Jared Cook. JG rocking with us. PPR, Odell, Sanders, A-Rob. Sit one.
Man, I don't think I can sit Odell. The Vikings cornerbacks, I get it. It's Patrick Peterson, right? That's a name that you should. Patrick Peterson is no longer the Patrick Peterson of old. They also have Brashad Breeland, who has been literally one of the worst cornerbacks in the league so far. I can't sit Odell. Am I going to sit Miles Sanders? I think I might sit Miles Sanders, but I don't love it. We're putting a lot of faith in Allen Robinson, but give me Allen Robinson, give me Odell.
I'm sitting A-Rob, and I just want to see it first.
You have turned your back on that man. You should be ashamed.
I have not. I'm with him. I'm patting him on the back, but I'm saying it's like
ride the pine.
It's like when you were a kid and you wanted a toy, but your parents were just like, "Not today, buddy. Not today." So I'm gonna, like I said, I just want to see it with A-Rob first, and I think the other 2 options, I don't think that's a hot take, or you know what I mean. I don't think you're reaching for either of those starts. So give me Odell and Miles there. Alexis season, Kittle or Pitts? It seems like Kittle is going to do his damnedest to get on that field. You know, Pitts we were just talking about. Kittle, we finally saw a throwback Kittle type of play from him last week. Who do you like here?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with George Kittle. It looks like he's going to play. They get Seattle. They are a later game, so there's a tiny bit of risk, but it sounds like George Kittle will play. And I'm going to just roll with George Kittle there.
Yeah, I'm going to go Kittle. I don't think you can turn your back on the Avi either. Can't turn your back on the Avi.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't do what Cody did with Allen Robinson.
Hey, A-Rob has never been an Avi for me, at least. I can at least say that. Sino, really appreciate you coming through with the $5 holla. Really appreciate that. Thank you guys for your support. If you do not want to throw any American dollars toward us, a like and a subscribe is free, and we appreciate that as well. But I appreciate Sino coming in. I think it might be the first time I've seen Rogers in here representing the U. Let me find the spot here. Here we go. Adam wants to know Renfro or AJ Green.
Dire straits here. Oh man, I really hate advertising AJ Green at this point in his career, but if Hopkins is shadowed a little bit more by Ramsey, which I know he hasn't been doing, but at this point we're talking about an elite receiver that is just way past the talent of the other wide receivers in that room. I'm going to go AJ Green and Christian Kirk and some of these other guys to have a bigger game. Hunter Renfro, can they keep on getting overtime games where he's able to have 10 targets maybe, but I'm going to go AJ Green here. Renfro much safer. Let me say Renfro much safer.
Yeah, if you're down to these guys, hopefully the rest of your roster is pretty set. So just give me the safety with Renfro. Like just trusting AJ Green. Like if AJ Green didn't have the game he had last week, he's probably not in consideration. Right? So I'm gonna lean Renfro there. Rest of season question here from my child sat on me now. I have sand all over me.
Sand? Where's the sand coming from?
The sandbox outside.
Oh, I'm supposed to know you guys had a sandbox outside. Okay.
Well, we're not at the beach, so deduction here, Robbie. Rest of season, Woods or Marvin Jones? 2 year guys, Robbie.
Oh my gosh, I do like Marvin Jones, especially with Chark out, but we talk about 3 weeks in. We've seen what we've seen so far. Does that trend continue? I don't think it does. I think we eventually see a Robert Woods game that shows you, hey, this is why Robert Woods is a pretty safe wide receiver to occasionally be a flex. I think Robert Woods is better than what we've seen so far. I'm going to go Robert Woods, but I love Marvin Jones as well. Very close for me, Raylan.
Grant Bowe wants to know Dak or Stafford. I'm going to lean Stafford here just with the higher game total, the higher implied total. So Grant's the guy that I want here. What say you?
Yeah, I think they're neck and neck, 8 and 9 for me. I'll go Stafford.
Alexis has another question. Amari Cooper or DJ Moore or Sanders at the flex. Diggs and Cup, wide receiver 1 and 2. So you're not worried about that at all, obviously. Give me Cooper here. Not turning my back on.
Yep.
Especially if we see Diggs go toward DJ Moore a little bit more in this game. Diggs has been really, really good to start the season. YF wants to know full PPR, Javonte or Ruggs?
It's going to be Javonte. I really don't know what to expect in a tough matchup against the Ravens for Javonte, but Ruggs just is so boomer bust. If you're down coming out of the Thursday night games, I'd probably actually go Ruggs. If it's pretty even, nobody really played Thursday night for you, I'd go Javonte.
Yeah, I lean that way as well. Again, if you need that boom bust option, go Ruggs. Javonte looks like, even with Melvin Gordon playing, probably doesn't have a high ceiling in this game going up against Denver. We've talked about that matchup a bunch here. Dak or Kirk? This is Dak for me this week.
Yes.
Don't let it slide on the floor. Hold it.
Hubbard or Sermon in the flex for Brian?
I'm going to go Hubbard. I just think that they probably trust him a little bit more than Shanahan trusts Sermon at this point. I'll go Chuba.
Chuba there for me. Here we go. Sunday football breakfast food. Pancakes or waffles? This is the important stuff that people come here for.
We got this 2 weeks ago when I was on. We
Oh,
got
yeah,
this.
that's
and I think
right.
we were all Wong, you're stealing Raylan's questions here, man. Come on now. Can't have plagiarism on the TFA live show.
But for the people who weren't with us when Raylan asked about our breakfast leanings, I'm a waffle guy. I think you and Kev were on pancake side, correct?
Team pancake side.
Yeah.
Although I'll be honest, I normally don't go to either of these foods. I'll just do a little cold bowl of cereal, little Cheerios, little Captain Crunch, which you could probably predict from me. Doesn't this face scream Cheerios?
That face screams Kicks. Have you ever had Kicks?
Oh, I did up until age 12 when I don't think it's allowed. Like they check your ID at the checkout and they say, "Sir, you are too old to purchase these. Please put them back."
Instead of the vaccine cards, have a Kicks card for children. Is JJ Taylor worth a stash? I think this depends on who you're dropping him for. You could, but I don't know if you're ever going to feel comfortable rolling him out. If you're in a full PPR, like I said, if you have deep bench spots and you're dropping, I don't know, like a Ty Johnson or somebody like that.
Shouldn't have been rostered to begin with, but yes.
If you're dropping somebody like that and you kind of just want to keep rotating that end of bench spot there, I think he could be, but it all depends on who you're dropping him for. So let us know who you potentially be dropping to pick up JJ Taylor. Here's another pickup question. Another one that's a Kevin Steele special. Should I add Josh Gordon or Cole Beasley from agency? Currently have Metcalf, Julio, Sutton for the other wide receivers.
Yeah, I think Cole Beasley should be rostered. He's playing 90% of those snaps. He was fantastic last year as the slot wide receiver for Josh Allen. We saw Josh Allen get back to 2020 Josh Allen in week 3. So Cole Beasley, absolutely. Josh Gordon is too much of a dart throw. Don't know when he'll actually be activated for games. What's his role when he is activated? We've seen they haven't utilized the wide receiver 2 to begin with. I don't think there's enough footballs to go around to make him relevant on a weekly basis. So Cole Beasley, absolutely.
I will say I did see a report that apparently Josh Gordon has impressed the team enough that he might be active as early as next week. I guess he's just done a really good job coming in right off the bat. So that is something to note. But I think Beasley is a much safer option there. Speaking of selling animals, I'm also selling a child. If anybody is interested in some Rollins, what
best advertisement there. This question between Sermon and Henderson. I'm gonna go Henderson again. Fantastic matchup against the Cardinals. Just can't quite trust Sermon the same amount that I thought we could coming into week 3. Just doesn't seem like Kyle Shanahan trusts him.
Yeah, same here. I know we said rapid fire before, but let's go rapid fire again. We have 15 minutes until we are going to be closing up shop here. Sermon, Harris, or Gaskin?
This is where I can take Trey Sermon. Absolutely, we'll go Trey Sermon here.
I'm going Gaskin. We need somebody to split the tie for Adam there. Sutton or Waddle for one?
Sutton. AB.
Yes.
Or are you still thinking on the last question?
I was still thinking, but I don't feel strongly enough either way that I'm fine with Sutton. Waddle, if he's going to be used in the way that he was used last week, now he obviously has the ability to break one off, but until we kind of see a little bit more creativity from a Brissett-led offense, Sutton. Michael Brown, who should I start at flex? Gibson, Woods, Hubbard, or Ayuk? Okay, so Michael was with us last week. Also had this same issue with the 3 Washington players. So are you going to be going off of Gibson given this? I think you can flex Woods here. I'm fine with flexing Woods to get away from a full Washington onslaught.
Do I want to get away from Washington facing the Falcons? That's my real dilemma. Like, I get it. Not all of them can score, right? Yeah, I think the rest of your options are pretty good. My next guy up would be Woods, but I'm fine with either Gibson or Woods.
Mike wants to know Zach Pascal or Will Fuller in a full PPR.
Will Fuller.
A-Rob, Henderson, Higbee, a bunch of names that we have already said that we want to play this week. Who do you want out of these three?
Allen Robinson.
Igor, Galladay, Rondell, AJ Green at my flex.
Kenny Galladay.
Sermon or Hubbard in a non-PPR.
Hubbard.
Hubbard for me as well. Raven coming through with the random question. Would you rather live permanently at the roller coaster park, the zoo, or the beach?
This is easy. The beach. Absolutely the beach.
This is the beach. A roller coaster, way too much commotion. I like having a little bit of peace and serenity.
Too much puke.
As you can imagine. And then the zoo would kind of be cool, but you have to smell shit all the time. And I already smell shit all the time with my child. So give me the beach.
I feel like you'd be an exhibit at the zoo. If you're basically living at the zoo full time, you're just another exhibit, you know?
Don't we all live at the zoo, metaphorically speaking? Grandpa wants to know Gaskin, Davis, Pollard, Jacobs. We need one in a full PPR.
Mike Davis. Don't love it. Josh Jacobs.
Gaskin.
Josh Jacobs. I'm changing my answer. Gaskin is not even on my radar. Josh Jacobs.
Gaskin. Josh Jacobs is never allowed to be an answer on this show. Zach Moss or Miles Sanders in a half PPR. I'm going to go Sanders.
Yep.
Lally's locks. Pick one in a full PPR for the flex. Juju, Devonta Parker, AJ Green, Javonte Williams.
Juju
for me as well. Emmanuel also back with us. Was in the prop show last night. Back with us on Sunday morning. Good to have you back. Which QB, Carr or Tanny?
Oh man, that's close. I don't care that their his top two weapons are out. I'm going to stick with Tannehill there. I get it. Carr has been playing fantastic. Again, he's gotten 2 extra quarters over everybody else. I'm going to go with Tannehill here against the Jets.
This is where we really need a third person on the stream because we're going to disagree as well. I'm going to go Carr in what should be a higher scoring affair. Not really too worried about the Chargers secondary. So give me Carr there. Lamar or Stafford? I think we answered this one earlier. I lean Stafford. I believe you lean Lamar.
No, I went Stafford as well. Very close though.
Sportus, Nutrition Osseous. It's a new dinosaur they found. Trey Sermon, Tony Pollard. Who you got?
A very athletic dinosaur, it sounds like. I'm going to go Trey Sermon here. I get it. Tony Pollard could be, good with his 8 to 10 carries, but I'm going to go Sermon.
Clyde or Robinson?
That'd be A-Rob. J-Rob's already played. I am going to do CH.
Yes, CH for me as well. Ayuk or Marquise Brown. We both really like Ayuk in this matchup. Going to stay there for this one. Nate _M. Waddle, Juju, or Sanders. This is going to be Juju for me.
Yep.
Just a little bit safer there. Obviously, with Claypool being out, that obviously opens up some more targets for Juju and Deontay. Corey Davis or Kareem Hunt in the flex. So you got.
I talked about Kareem Hunt early, maybe going back and not having as great of a game this week. Maybe it's a little bit down week, but I'm going to trust him a little bit more than Corey Davis. They faced the Vikings. You said they're without Anthony Barr. This Vikings defense has just not been very good. Give me Kareem, but it is close.
Somebody break the tie. I'm going Corey Davis in this one. Now, I brought up Hines as a flex option. I can't get there over Clyde, but I do think this is going to be a Hines game. I do like Hines, but I can't do it over Clyde, Hoodie J. So I'm going to go Clyde there. Looks like you are as well. Sino has one here. Allen, Kirk Cousins, King Henry, Monty, Moss, Patterson, Tyreek, Metcalf, Cup, Mike Williams, Jeff Wilson on IR. I like that pickup and stash. Andrews, Tampa, and Patriots defense. Kicker, do I have a chance at a 2K championship?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you have the running back 1, you have a top 5, top 4 quarterback. You have Tyreek, who will eventually be back to being Tyreek.
Cup, Mike Williams.
Yeah. Who's the tight end? Am I missing the tight end here?
Andrews.
Yeah, top 5 tight end. Yeah, absolutely.
What I would do here is, drop one of those defenses. You don't need to carry 2. Drop one of those and then, pick up another, high upside running back, a high upside wide receiver. Like I said, I do like that you have Jeff Wilson stashed with, Mitchell now banged up, Sermon questionable. I think Wilson could jump right back into a little bit of at least to have a 1A kind of role once he is fully healthy. Joe Santo. Pitts or Brait?
Pitts.
Yeah, I do like Brait as a streamer, but again, this is where I know Pitts has been disappointing, but that's why you picked him up, so you don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna go Pitts, but I do like Brait as a streamer if you need to go there.
And an AB here for Santiago.
Yep, agree there. Should I trade Clyde for Diop? Currently have Boyd, Chart, Gallup wide receiver, Henry, Clyde, Monty, Hines, and Murray for running back. Yeah, D-Hop's not going to stay down forever. Better days are ahead.
Yep.
I would absolutely do that trade. I'm surprised you can get him for Clyde. As much as I like Clyde, I would do that even preseason when I had Clyde in my my top 5 running backs. Monty, Hunt, or Hines. I'm going to go Monty here.
Yep.
Here we go. Patty Fry, baby. Schultz or Pat Freiermuth? Who you got here for Kells?
I'm going to stick with Dalton Schultz for now. Freiermuth has been working in a lot more. He's starting to out-target Eric Ebron. I think eventually he will get there. I can't quite do it yet.
Yeah, I agree. I do like. I picked up Patty Fry off in SFB for free.
Nice.
So I have him chilling there. So I do like that in a tight end. There we go. There, I was wondering where we were going with that. Santiago has another question. Michael Carter or Josh Jacobs? Is Josh Jacobs for sure playing?
Yep. He is expected to play.
Like I said, I will never answer Josh Jacobs. Give me Michael Carter.
Stop.
Give me Michael Carter in a good matchup here against Tennessee. Are we sure that Josh Jacobs is going to come in and get after his injury, just go in and get the lion's share of the touches after Peyton Barber has been playing surprisingly pretty well? Kenyon Drake mixed in as well. I don't think we see Josh Jacobs go in and just handle, 75% of the carries the way that he had been.
Santiago, pick up Peyton Barber, as ugly as that sounds. If Josh Jacobs does play, I spoke a little bit prematurely. I forgot that was the Monday night game, so they haven't officially come out with anything on him. He is still questionable. I'm not starting Michael Carter quite yet. We loved him preseason, but need to wait and see on that one. I'm playing whatever running back I can against the Chargers run defense, which is god awful.
Well, Tennessee, not much better.
Much better.
Give me Michael Carter, starting him this week. Galladay, Patrick, or Emmanuel for the season?
That would be Galladay.
Yeah. Justin wants to know, should I start Kittle? Seems like he's going to play. I would feel gross picking somebody off of waivers and starting him over Kittle. So just roll with Kittle there. Maybe the ceiling is a little bit capped, but you're going Kittle. Abraham Pena, Davis, or Myers?
Abraham, I get the rationale for Corey Davis, and that's why he's gotten targeted the amount he has been. Who's getting more targets than him? Jacoby Meyer with a better offense. So Jacoby Meyer for me.
Yeah, you're on the right track there, Abraham. So Myers for me as well. A $1,600 championship here. Stafford, Herbert, Kupp, Williams, AJ Brown, AB, Henry, Gibson, Taylor, Andrews, Higbee, Tampa, and Patriots defense. Again, drop one of those defenses. I like this team more than the last team, and that's saying something. So,
yep,
I like that a lot.
Keep it up.
AB or Corey Davis for Santiago?
AB.
Hey, listen, if you're taking both at the same time, it's free.
Buy one, get one.
In a super flex here, Fields or Jacoby Myers?
I'm going to go Fields here.
Yeah, in a super flex, I would go there as well. Hopefully, with another week, Matt Nagy realizes what he has with Fields. Speaking of Fields, A-Rob, Hunt, or Cooks?
It's going to be Allen Robinson for me. People are going to be really pissed if Allen Robinson does not perform.
Hey, don't worry. I have a bunch of A-Rob as well. I'm also going to be pissed.
Yep, same. That's what I'm doing with my lineups. I'm only telling you guys what I'm doing with my lineups.
Yep. Would you drop Robbie Anderson for Cole Beasley in a standard?
I don't think so. Give it one more week. One more week, Jordan.
I think even in a standard, Cole Beasley's been getting double-digit targets, or at least over the first 3 weeks is averaging double-digit targets. I think he's a little bit safer. I don't know what's going on with Robbie Anderson. I was a fan whenever Darnold landed there. Just hasn't exactly panned out yet, but I think you could in a standard, especially. I would do that. Nick Freeman, PPR pick 1. Here we go, baby. Getting in the weeds. Colin Johnson with all the injuries that the Giants have. Chester Rogers or Westbrook. Hinny.
I'm going the Nick Westbrook kind. I really like his potential here to be the target leader. I think him and Ferkser. I get it. Chester Rogers is there too, but they weren't targeting Chester Rogers even after A.J. Brown went out. It was Nick Westbrook that was getting more of the work. So he is a 6'3", 216-pound wide receiver. I think he can get down the field and make some plays.
Pitts or Conklin is going to be Pitts for me.
Yep.
Hubbard or Waddle?
Hubbard.
Sorry, I thought you were saying something after that. Big Truz coming back. Good to see BT in here. Conklin or Jonnu? I'm going to go Jonnu.
I'm going to go Conklin. Jonnu has been outsnapped by Hunter Henry and outproduced by Hunter Henry.
I just think in this matchup, they're going to need to throw a little bit more. Like I know that the routes and the snaps lean Hunter Henry, but the opportunities I think have been pretty close between the two. And then we also have to remember Jonnu was a little banged up as well. So I'm going to go Jonnu there. And then Murray or Hurts. Who do you like here?
I'm going to stick with Murray.
I have Murray higher in my ranks, obviously, but I am slightly concerned with this matchup. This matchup has kind of seemed to be his Achilles heel in his short career, but it's so hard to sit him with how well he's playing now, with Kirk finally getting in the fold, Rondale Moore, and even dusty ass AJ Green as well. Roachman, start 2.5 PPRs. Sutton, Devonta Smith, Ayuk. Do it. Sit Sutton. Yes, let's go. Joseph, Brait or OJ Howard? I'm going to go Brait. I think that obviously OJ Howard is the more athletic, higher talented, but he's just not been seeing the snaps that we want him to see. So I'm going to go Cameron Brait there. Are you going OJ Howard?
Yeah, I'm going to go neither. Joseph, there's tons of other streamers that you can pick up that are they're going to have a better snap share, probably a better target share than both these guys who are going to be splitting time. I think we named him before. Anthony Ferkser would be a pickup for me, but if it's between those two, Brait.
Sanders, Edmonds, Javonte. We need two. Who are you sitting?
I'm sitting Javonte.
Me as well. Brock wants to know Javonte or Pollard in full PPR.
Give me Tony Pollard.
Give me Pollard as well. Sutton over Odell?
No.
We're telling the truth. Odell. Already got this one. Joel wants to know. Joel? J-O-L? Chuba or Moss?
Chuba. Riskier, but I'll go Chuba.
Give me Zach Moss. Sutton, Myers, Lamb for wide receiver 2. My goodness, this is Lamb. Just lock in Lamb. Don't think about it. Two running backs in a full PPR: Henderson, Madison, Melvin Gordon. Oh.
Henderson and Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, the Vikings don't know how to protect Dalvin Cook. So if he's in there, I think he gets the full workload. Maybe another series or two for Madison, but I don't like Melvin Gordon either. Pick up Michael Carter and play Michael Carter. Andrew Mills, Gaskin, or Melvin Gordon, full PPR. I'm going Gaskin here. Are you finally going to say Gaskin?
Finally going to say Myles Gaskin.
This is a testament to Diop being a little down, and Mike Williams being way up.
A lot up.
Who you got?
D-Hop.
Yeah, a lot of the same questions here for a lot of people. I hope that wasn't a dig there.
I think it was a little.
Well, we can only talk about who they're asking us about. We're not gonna go off the rails. I mean, if you want me to talk about Michael Carter, I'll talk about Michael Carter. Hubbard, Carson, or Henderson, full PPR.
Nick, ask your question. We'll answer it, brother. Whatever your question is. You want to talk about a different player? You want to go down, talk about the Ronald Jones? I haven't talked about Ronald Jones all day. I'm excited to talk about him. Whoever you want, okay? The choice is yours. I'm going to go Carson.
Yeah, this is Carson here for me as well. Stream clips. Harris, Pollard, Peyton Barber for the RB2.
Oh, gross.
We
have to wait until Monday. Oh, my God. Probably Tony Pollard.
Yeah. Give me Pollard, AB, or Melvin and a half point. This is AB all day.
Maybe.
Max always coming through with the standard questions. Ridley, we need three. Ridley, Cooper, Lamb, Jacoby. First three.
Yes.
And then Cook, Clyde, Sermon, Javonte, Chuba. First two. Hines or Javonte Williams? I'm going to go Hines here.
Hines.
Let's go. We're agreeing now. Would you trade CeeDee Lamb and Najee Harris for Henry, given that Alejandro has Kupp, Diggs, CD, Evans, OBJ, and Beasley?
Yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
Yeah, I think you can. Would you drop Goddard or Higbee to stash Jeff Wilson?
Yeah, I would drop Goddard.
Boom. Agree there. Waddle or NWI?
NWI. Let's make that's the new Law and Order NWI. I will go Jalen Waddle.
Waddle for me as well there, Nate. Perry Williams wants to know Pitts or Goddard.
Give me I think I might have Goddard higher, but give me Pitts.
Give me Pitts as well. With Mitchell out, do I go Sermon or Ayuk in the flex? We love the matchup for Ayuk. Give us Ayuk there, even with Robbie being the Sermon lover boy. Hines or Javonte. This is Hines for us. Yes. Sermon or Hines. I'm also going Hines here.
Hines in a PPR, yes.
Let's go. Here we go. Now we're on a roll. This is why we were taking so long, because we were disagreeing on everything earlier. Bryce Rasmussen, OBJ, Deontay, Debo, full PPR. We need one.
Only one? Bryce, this is not fair to us. Give me Deontay, who could get 1 million targets. Hey, real quick, wife wanted to type this into the chat. The real question is, will Robbie lose to his wife in fantasy football this week? And the answer is no, Alex. No, he will not. 4-0 against her.
I can't say anything because my wife laid the smackdown on me 2 weeks ago. So I'm not saying anything bad about wives and playing their husbands in fantasy football. Probably shouldn't have said that on air, but it happened. Pick 2 in a full PPR here for Brock. Godwin, Amari, Deontay, and Debo. Tom is the quarterback.
Yeah, love Godwin this week. We talked about it on the Wednesday show. Love him throwing a ton. Godwin, Deontay.
Godwin and Amari for me. Fady. Mike Davis or Sermon in a half PPR?
I think I went Mike Davis earlier. Give me Sermon. They're really close. Give me Sermon. I gotta have some Sermon shares, right?
I will go Mike Davis there. NWI or a Davis. I like Davis there. Just give me the guy who's been in the offense a little bit longer.
Sure.
Not a bad matchup against Tennessee either. I think we could see closer to a week one, not predicting it, but I think we see closer to from a productivity standpoint, week one for Corey Davis over the past couple of weeks. I can't throw in, I know it's against the Jets, but I can't throw in a guy like that over Davis. Brandon Cooks or Jerry Rice in a full PPR. Give me Tim Brown. Miguel wants to know Hubbard, Hunt, AB, Juju, Sutton, Madison in the flex and a PPR. I'm assuming we need one AB.
AB.
If I had to pick a second. See, this is what happens when your kids get wild. They smack furniture and hurt themselves. Second one would be Juju for me out of this group, if we need more than one. Trey Sermon or Clyde in full PPR. Give me Clyde. Nutella, we appreciate you. Thanks for giving us the questions. Appreciate all you guys. If you appreciate us, hit us with a sub and a like if you would be so kind.
Nick, take a note, Nick. We answer every question, whatever it is, Nick. Okay?
I'm going to give Nick the benefit of the doubt. I don't think it's a dig. I don't think it's a dig. I'm going to give him – we're talking positivity. Props are getting back on track. My teams are getting back on track. 3-foot, 3-putt needs to know. With Mitchell out, we already answered this one. This is and even in a standard, I'm still going Ayuk here. What's up from New Zealand? Gangsta boy. Appreciate you joining us. We've been spreading across the world here. We've had some Hawaii. We've had some I think some West Africa as well. I think it's where Emmanuel is from. So appreciate you joining us as TFA takes over the world. Need 2 and a flex in a 14-man half PPR league. Kirk, Callaway, Pascal, Sermon, Van Jeff. Locking in Christian Kirk.
Yeah, surprised we haven't gotten any Christian Kirk questions. Yeah. Love Christian Kirk this week. Absolutely.
Yep. Who else are we going with? Who's the second option? Not so clear. Not so clear after that.
Yeah. A lot of dart throws with the rest of these. Trey Sermon, even though he didn't look great, still had 11 opportunities. I get it. That's not a ton, but it should be more than the rest of the squad. And if he performs better, I think we'll feel dumb for sitting him when compared to the rest of this group.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go Trey Sermon.
I will finally say Sermon there as well. Connor wants to know Myers, Henderson, Waddle, full PPR on the flex. This is Myers.
Man, Myers is fantastic. Okay, I'll go Myers. Myers and Henderson are close, but I'll go Myers.
Okay. Cousins or Lamar. This is Lamar.
Lamar.
Waddle or Corey Davis.
Upside versus safety. I'll go Corey Davis.
Davis for me as well. I've said Davis too many times, so he's probably just going to go out and just absolutely.
Jamison Crowder week. Jamison Crowder week. Let's go.
Denzel Mims week, baby. That is what's happening. Denzel Mims getting on track. Michael Carter getting on track for the brand. It's happening. Just accept it. Miguel, another one here. Clyde, Hunt, Madison, Patterson, Juju, PPR. I'm going to go Clyde and Juju.
Is that Jarrett Patterson or CH for me?
Who's your second one? We need an RB2 and a flex. Okay. So it's still
C8,
Clyde.
And then actually Hunt over Juju. CH and Juju.
Juju, Waddle, Marquise Brown to flex, full PPR.
We've said Juju a lot. We've said Juju a lot. Yep.
Gaskin or Pittman. You don't like Gaskin. You don't like Pittman.
Bad.
Oh.
Bad. This is bad. Oh, that was Dad. Dang, I was saying bad.
No.
John, bad. This is not great. I will go Gaskin here.
Gaskin for me as well. Inceptivus has a stash question. Bateman or Jeff Wilson? Give me Bateman. Give me Bateman.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go Jeff Wilson, actually. Like, who can be a league winner down the stretch? Hard to see Bateman in a team that doesn't throw a ton with the other options there. Wilson, he could be that running back one, or the running back one for the 49ers. I'm going to go Wilson as the better stash.
But like the RB1 on San Fran is still like the RB3 on any other team because of how much they split.
It's injuries though, right? Like we saw when it was Mitchell and he was healthy. It went Mitchell. Literally, I think they don't like to rotate. It's just too many injuries. Can't stay healthy.
Maybe. Slazak. There was a Slazak in Derry where I went to high school. Javonte Williams, Sutton, or Henderson?
Henderson.
Henderson for me as well. Should I trade Hunt for Amari? Nutella also has Nick Chubb. If you can trade Hunt for Amari, I am absolutely doing that. Good for you. Truth teller. We tell the truth. Would you drop Corey Davis for Jacoby Myers?
Yes.
Devonta Smith, Rondell Moore.
I would drop.
Okay.
I would drop Rondell Moore.
So I think it's the first one. It's just a single question. Would you drop Davis for Myers?
Yes.
And then
Smith. But Jerry Jeudy is not even playing. So if you're dropping him for anybody, it's Rondell Moore. If you're asking who to start out of that group, no, I don't think he's asking about to start. It's just a drop. Dropping Rondell Moore to pick up Jacoby Myers.
Don't play that. Go.
Okay. I'm good with that as well. Getting close to nap time. Getting close to start time here as well. Go. So we're going to try and rifle through these. Jacoby, AB, or Henderson for Noel?
Jacoby.
Chuba or Gibson? Give me Gibby there.
Gibson.
Cousins or Rodgers?
Cousins, actually.
Really?
Yes.
I'll get you yellow.
Okay, give me Aaron Rodgers. Carson or Taylor and a half PPR from Marcos on Facebook.
Give me Jonathan Taylor. Miami Dolphins not good against the run.
Conklin or Goddard for Noel.
Goddard.
Zach Moss, Melvin Gordon. I'm going Moss.
Juju,
Tim Patrick, Juju.
Yep.
Knox or Schultz. Give me Schultz.
Give me Knox. Very close, though.
Damian Harris or Sermon in the flex for Matt.
Give me Sermon.
Rodgers or Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
I will go Hurts there as well. Triple Trey. Sermon or Pollard as the RB2 and a 14-teamer.
Sermon.
Pollard for me. Emmy. Rondell Moore or Tim Patrick?
Tim Patrick and then Sermon.
Sutton, Kirk, Emmanuel Sanders for Loki.
Give me Christian Kirk. I want to start Christian Kirk.
Yes.
Let's go.
Drop Rondell Moore for Kirk. Yeah, you can. He's been way more consistent. Rondell Moore still not seeing the snaps. Last one here for QGJ. Cousins or Herbert?
I like them both. Give me Herbert.
Give me Herbert as well. Can't go Fields just yet over that group. We appreciate you guys. Any other start sit questions you have, please join the Discord. If you pull down the video description, the link is there. Click it, jump in. Christian will be there to help you up until kickoff. We have to go set our lineups. Appreciate all you guys. We will talk to you soon. We will also be live tonight for the first look at Week 5 waivers during halftime of the Sunday night game. Good luck. Get some dubs. Positive vibes.